Hi, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. So today I'm going to set up my Erin Condren A5 Agenda, and this is the champagne gold. So inside you get a couple of different compartments, so let me just show you. The hardware is gold in all their agendas, and this back pocket you can put your hand the whole way through to the other side. And then there's another pocket on top of that which is handy for notebooks or journaling cards. And then over on the other side there is a pocket on the bottom, and then 3 connected pockets along the top, and then one final pocket at the side which is good for the long sticky notes or for a pen or for rulers or something. And then there's a pen loop along the side. So let's set the agenda out of the way for now and work on the contents. So the first thing I want to do is I want to actually round the pages, and I got this idea from Poetry Plans whenever the agenda first came out. And this obviously is an unessential step, but I just like the way it looks, and I thought I'm going to go all out with the aesthetic in this and just make it really enjoyable to look at and fun. These are the meal plan insert. Anywhere there is a tab on the top or bottom, I'm not going to round that edge, but I'll do the rest, and I'm going to use the medium size. I'll link below this corner rounder that I own. You can do small, medium, large. I love it, it's really handy.
Is there a place with sun all year round and pina coladas with pretty faces and sand on the ground?
Right, now, as well as the meal inserts that I'm going to be using to help keep track of healthy eating, I have in this little clip book from Filofax, I've been storing the focused planner. When I first bought one of the agendas, it was in it. It's the Harbour colour. And I never used them. I didn't need them, but I kept them. And I'm going to use them now and just redate them rather than buying a insert for the next year, because this is a trial for me. I want to see if I'm going to enjoy using an agenda before I commit to buying the new versions of it. Anyway, so this runs from July 2022 right the way through to June 2023. So yeah, I'm using it from July to December of 2023. So none of them are going to suit, but I'll just redate them. But I'm going to choose the 2022 July to December to use, and that way I'll have the correct tabs that say the correct month names. And while I'm going through it here, as well as rounding, I'm going to decide what to keep. So I need this side, but I'm not going to keep this page because it has the holidays. The tab is wrong because it says 2022-23. This page is both the holidays, and I don't use them even when the dates are right. So I'm just going to set that aside. This side then I am going to use, so I can put them beside each other and have 2 different layouts. And it says July, so that worked out well. And I'm just going to round this, and I'll keep working my way through and deciding which pages I'm going to keep and not keep. But I am going to keep the months aside that I don't need just for now. And I'll show you later on when we get to putting it all together what I'm going to do with those extra pages and why I might actually need some of them. But for now, let's get all these rounded and ready to go.
I want to stop this ongoing train before I lose my mind and go insane. I don't want to sleep every night. I want to light a spark in the dark. I don't want to say I'm okay living the same every day.
Right, then at the back here, I believe there is a notes section and it just goes straight into it. So I'll just double check. Yes, so I can go from the dot grid note page on the back of that previous month and then have a notes section at the back. And then I don't need these contacts. What's on the back of it? The future log. I think I'm going to keep the future log for now. I don't know. I need to get things more set up and then decide whether I'm actually going to really need that or not. And then that's a back cover. But if I do keep it, I don't need the contacts. What I'll do is I'll use a dot grid page from one of the other months and just stick them both together. So the notes section will finish with a lined notes page and then a dot grid notes page, and then I'll stick them together and then I'll flip it and it'll have the future overview, and I'll make a decision later whether I want to keep that or not.
Hey, come run beside me, let's take off. Let's leave this place.
Right, so now I'm going to work on setting up the opening spreads. I think I'm going to keep everything outside until all the spreads are set up, and then we'll put it all together. So I'll just set these to the side for now and lift the opening pages as and when I need them. So starting with the title page, and I'm just going to have a bit of fun. I have a sticker book that is a wildflower sticker book that I'm going to use throughout this setup and go for a floral theme. I just think the colour champagne of the agenda will look really, really nice with earthy tones and muted colours. So I'm going to take this box and stick it over the top of all the writing, because it's all wrong. It's July 22 to June 2022 and I don't need to know that it's a focus planner, so I'm just going to cover it completely and just have a bit of fun decorating this.
For another place. Oh, maybe all we need is difference. It's hard at this speed to see anything. Just tell me what you need and I'll listen. I'll listen.
And I think that's plenty, so I'm going to move on now to the next page. This I need to cover anyway, and I don't want to print out mini calendars, so I have this little print. It's from Stationery Pal, a set of digitals that I got, and I'm going to use it just to cover the whole top section. Whenever I keep dates at the front of a calendar, I keep like appointments for getting like my nails done and stuff like that. I like to note when the seasons change. Ever since I started sticker planning, I just find it fun. And then I also keep birthdays, but I can't do what I normally do and put little dots over the calendar date and make a key, because they're wrong. And I don't want to cram them all into one set anyway. So I'm going to separate them out. So I'm going to have a section for the seasons, and then I'm going to have a section for appointments, and then whenever I move on to my next page, I'm going to set it up for birthdays, and that way both pages beside each other show all the different types of events. And then when I'm setting up my monthlies, I refer to this and it'll all be there in one place.
When we get there, we'll throw a big feast with pina coladas, hand in hand, not out of reach, higher. Yeah, we'll be lighter, happier, and much brighter. Take a step, have no regret. I don't wanna sleep every night. I wanna light a spark in the dark. I don't wanna say I'm okay.
So I just decided there to keep going and fill out the first months of 2024. So looking at this future overview, I already have January to June 2024. And again, I don't want to cover the calendars and set this up. I think I'm just going to leave it. Honestly, I only use this as a point of reference when I'm setting up a new planner. So therefore, in 2024, I would copy these over to my 2024 planner. But it's not essential, and I just don't feel like, well, one, duplicating 6 months and then trying to set up the rest. And then again, I would have to cover all the mini calendars because they're wrong. Yeah, let's leave it. Now it's time to put it all together and then make the final touches. So I know that in this back top pocket, I want to put a dot grid notepad that I bought from Erin Condren a while ago, and I customized the top colors. It's leopard to olive green, taupe and light grey, and it looks really well with the champagne gold. And then in the back pocket I have this sticker sheet. It's wildflower that I purchased recently from Erin Condren. Don't know whether I'm going to use it for a monthly or weekly, and it doesn't fit. I think if I cut the top of this off it might fit, but it'll be handy just to have it in the very back here to access whether I use it for a monthly or whether I use it in a weekly. I'll know where it is, so let's pop that in there. Perfect. So just taking that top barcode off was enough to make it fit in the back. And then I think I'm going to keep this sticker book. I forgot to mention earlier actually, there's another pocket underneath the front here where those little credit card size pockets are, and I'm going to squeeze this in here. Once it gets to a point where it's really running low, I will take the stickers out of it, I think, and put it on release paper. But it'll be good in there for now. And then this is from Erin Condren, this checklist pad, and I'm going to slip it down inside here. I am 100% a list maker, so the more places I have to write lists, the better. Right, and then this pen is the Zebra Sarasa Grand in dark grey and has gold hardware, and that's perfect just to keep in there. I'm going to fill these out in a second, but for now let's actually put the guts of the planner inside. So when you use an agenda or a ring bound cover, you need to make sure that you use a page lifter, because down here the pages get caught. And I'm going to use this. I made it myself. It's actually from a sticker book. Then I'm going to have the meal inserts at the back behind the weeklies, and then I'm going to put the weeklies on top. But I need to actually go through the weeklies and make sure that there's enough weeks in each month. So for example, in July 2022, there might have been 5 weeks. And then in July 2023, there might only be 4, or vice versa. So that's why I kept the extra weeks, so I can add a page in. So let's do December and put it in and count, and I'll show you what I mean. So there are the monthly page, and then you get the dashboard and dot grid, and then the weeklies. So in December 2023, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. But if we look over here, and the planner's done as December 2022, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. So we need to add a page in order to make this work. So all I need to do is take a page that has a week on each side, and then I'm just going to round the corners of this so that it matches. And then I can just put it anywhere within that month because the dates are all wrong anyway. So let's just put it in here. So that now gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I just need to go through and do that for the rest of the year until I get to July, and then I'll talk to you about what I'm going to do there.
As a young girl, the fields were mine. We played.
Right, so in my July section, I want to actually have enough weeks to cover June and July, because I can't wait until July to start this planner. And I decided to put the weeks for June and July into the 1 month. to avoid duplication. I am actually going to do June monthly in my other planner and don't want to do it twice. So yeah, I'm just going to put the weeks together. So let me see, I'm going to need then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks. 6, 7, 8, 9, perfect. Right, I had considered putting in divider tabs, but I think for now I'm going to use these sticky notes as my divider and just put it on the current week that I'm on. And then if I feel like adding them at a later stage, I will. Right, so whenever I purchased the Focus Agenda, it came with a completely blank piece of vellum. And wait till you see what I've actually done with it. I am so proud of this. Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous? This is an art piece and I printed on top of the plain vellum, and then I add copper details with washi. Let me show you how I did it. I purchased a digital. It's from a company called While Olivia Sleeps, and it's called Deep in Bloom, and I just printed it on plain printer paper using Keynote just to drag the file into it. And then what I did was I took the plain vellum, this is what it looked like before, and I laid over the top of where it printed, and this was just to give me an idea of where the printer was going to print the piece, so it wouldn't end up like really lopsided or not where I wanted it. But it also let me see if I needed to make adjustments, and I did want to make adjustments because the idea was for it to cover the entire vellum. If I had blue tack, I would have put a little bit of blue tack underneath the vellum and stuck it down. So that way whenever I ran it through the printer, there wouldn't have been any spaces that had been blocked, and it would have got ink on the whole piece. But unfortunately I didn't have any blue tack, so I just went with what I had, and that is washi. So I stuck it down with a bit of spare graph paper washi. I've had this for ages, but rather than doing it in a place that I wasn't able to make it look nice after, I decided just to go with the ring section, and then whenever it came up that would be left completely white. And then I knew if I didn't like how it looked as white, I would just deal with it from there and see what to do. And I actually had the idea of covering it with copper metallic washi, and I love how it turned out. So here I was just trying to make sure that I got it straight, because wherever this sticky piece of washi covers is not going to get ink, and I would rather it was a square, because again I was trying to make it maybe so that I wouldn't have to cover this and it would just look nice, but I didn't like how it looked, you'll see in a second. And it held okay just with those two pieces through the printer. It's important that you know which side your printer prints on though, because you don't want to put it through and then it prints on the other side. Anyway, so this is what it looked like whenever it came out again. And even though I had adjusted it, as you can see it's a little bigger, it still missed the top and bottom. But again, that's where I had the idea for the copper, and I figured anywhere that had the white space I would just put copper washi. And I didn't pick this washi off straight away. I left it sitting to let the piece completely dry, because the ink was printing onto vellum and I wanted to make sure it had completely sunk in before I started lifting it and sticking stuff on it. And I was really careful taking this off and putting the washi on anyway, and I actually left it then sitting to the side, and it was the next day that I set up the planner. But I will let you see here me finishing setting this up, so you can see all the steps and how I did it, and then we will get back to the planner setup and get it finished off.
Hide and seek for hours, raised our shadows among the pines. So offshore, playful and free, without a care in the world. I was one rich little girl, daydreamer, kidnap me, take me back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot. spent summers catching fireflies and winters on our skates. One big smile across my face. We used to dance our way to church on Sundays. Mama set the pace.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. It's the first time I have ever printed on vellum, and I'm definitely going to experiment in the future with it. So I'm just going to round the two edges so it matches the rest of the planner and then pop it in.
Daydreamer, kidnap me.
So the empty pockets then along the left, I'm going to put in this one a sticky note from cloth and paper. This will be used whenever I want to write something and maybe stick it on my monitor. You know, it mainly will be for things outside the planner. And then the wildflower ones that I put inside the planner, it'll be for things that I lift off and stick onto the pages within my planner, if that makes sense. Not that I'll hold myself completely rigid to that, but that's the general idea. And then the top three, I actually intend to put sticker sheets that contain dot stickers and date covers, because I'm going to have to redate this whole planner, but I need to buy them. So what I'll do for now is I'm just going to set it up with a few bits and pieces that I have, just to show you what it would look like if you wanted to decorate these pockets. The Planner Nerd die cut then is from Fox and Pip. And then I'm also going to use another little die cut from Fox and Pip that says, "I'm not for everyone." And then in the second pocket, I'm going to put this name tag. I'm not going to write on it or anything, but just to show you what it would look like sticking out of the top. And it is from Coffee Monsterz Co. And the colours look well. And then these are actually the sort of thing that I will keep in here. These were freebies from Planner Monkey Co. And they say Monday to Sunday. And that's what I mean, day covers, date covers. That's the kind of thing that will be going in here in the future so that I have them handy whenever I want to redate a week. And that is it all set up. So let me give you a quick flip through of everything we've done.
Back, all the way back to them days, running around in a gown and a crown, barefoot.
Thank you so much for watching today and hanging out. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm really looking forward to getting started. But take care and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!